Geek-Free Guide to Ranking Your Site in Google. Lesson 7. Domain Level Keyword Usage. First, the short answers. What is domain level keyword usage? Domain level keyword usage is simply whether or not your domain name is an exact match of your primary keywords or partially contains your primary keywords. How important is it? According to the 150 experts surveyed, domain level keyword usage scores just under 5 out of 10 on the scale of importance for ranking in Google. What can I do to improve? When creating a new site, you can make sure the keywords you want to rank for are at least partially contained in the domain name, if not the entire keywords. Avoid domain names with hyphens or numbers. Now for a more detailed explanation. If you're old enough to remember the days when people used to use phone books when needing to find a business phone number, then you probably remember the businesses that would name themselves things like A1 Auto Sales, 123 Cleaners, and the like. They did that because they knew that when the names were sorted to be put in the phone book, their business name would come up first. Since many people wouldn't be looking for a specific business to call, they would likely call the first one on the list, and A1 Auto Sales would have the first chance to make the sale. Akin to that, when the web was born, people would buy up domain names that matched popular keywords. They did this because when the web was in its infancy, many people would just type keywords in the domain name to see what came up. For example, rosegardens.com. This kind of traffic is called type-in traffic. When search engines started to become a thing, having the keywords people were looking for in your domain name became a very important ranking factor as well. This continued to be the case with Google for many years, even though Google relied primarily on links for ranking. Exact match versus partial match domains. There are two types of keyword-rich domain names: exact match domains, known as EMDs, and partial match domains. An exact match domain is a domain that is exactly the site's primary keywords, like rosegardens.com. A partial match domain contains the keywords, but it's not exact, rosegardensforyou.com, or which contains some of the keywords, but not all of them. rosegardening.com, for example, is a partial match of rose gardens. Google used to highly favor EMDs so much that there was a huge market for selling great EMDs. I remember those days with fondness because it was so easy to rank those sites back then. As with many things in SEO, Google has changed the way it looks at exact match domains and partial match domains to try and prevent webmasters from being able to game their search engine. Many SEO experts believe that EMDs still carry some weight with Google, just not as much as they have in the past. Partial keyword match domains are believed to help you a little bit with relevancy scores, but not very much. The real value of exact match domains. For me, the biggest advantage of EMDs has nothing to do with the domain name itself being a ranking factor. I strongly feel that an EMD's greatest strength is your ability to get keyword-rich anchor text aimed at the site without any penalties from Google. If your site name was rosestoday.com, for instance, and you wanted to rank for the keywords rose gardens, you would have to be very careful how often you use the exact keywords rose gardens as the anchor text of your links. Remember, the rule of thumb is to use keyword-rich anchor text less than 10% of the time. But if your domain name is rosegardens.com, you can link to that as much as you want using your domain name and full URL as the anchor text. So, rosegardens.com or http://rosegardens.com. Google doesn't penalize you for that because that's the domain name of your site. But you still get your primary keywords into the anchor text, which is very valuable. I've mentioned this before, but my backyardgardening.org site benefits greatly from this. Despite not having any links with the anchor text set to backyard gardening, or anything keyword-rich at all, it has ranked in the top 3 results for its keywords for a couple of years now. How to choose a great domain name. In addition to the SEO value of an exact match domain name, there can also be real value to your visitors and potential visitors. Here's a list of guidelines to follow when choosing a domain name. Number 1. Register .com whenever possible. If you're not concerned with branding or getting type-in traffic, you can ignore this guideline. Obviously, I ignored it with backyardgardening.org. But if you're looking to build a brand, people will expect the .com domain. If you own the .net or .org and somebody else owns the .com, guess who's going to get the traffic when all the potential visitor can remember is that your site name was Rose Gardens something or other. Number 2. Keep it short. Again, this only matters for branding purposes. You don't want a long, difficult domain name. You want it to be fast and easy to type in. Especially with mobile users, long domain names are painful to get to. I always groan when I have to type in a domain like way too long to type on a mobile.com. Number 3. Make it memorable. If you're not trying to get the keywords into the domain name, coming up with something very memorable is wise. The top search engines make this point pretty clear. Google, Bing, Yahoo. The names have nothing to do with what the site is about, but who can forget names like those? Number 4. Don't use hyphens or numbers. If rosegardens.com is taken, and of course it is, it can be tempting to register rose-gardens.com instead. While you could do that, there are a couple of problems with the practice. People may not remember the hyphen, and your competitor will get the visitor. You won't get the exact match benefits from Google if there's a hyphen, and hyphens in the domain name actually hurt your ranking a little bit. Number 5. Do the keyword research first. Make sure you do solid keyword research before just grabbing an exact match domain just because it's available. I, of course, use Keyword K9 for this. Its Keyword Explorer makes it a snap to find great keywords that get decent traffic while being easy enough to rank for that the EMD can really make a difference. To demonstrate this, I ran the keywords Rose Gardens through the Keyword Explorer, filtered for only keywords that contained the word rose, and sorted it to show the keywords with the most monthly searches first by clicking on the monthly searches column header. I then went through and analyzed half a dozen of the keywords to see how tough they would be to rank for. I was pleased to find that not only was the competition not bad, despite getting a few thousand searches a month, there were also some exact match domains available for 3 of the 6 keywords I searched for. The keywords received an average of between 1,900 and 3,600 searches each month in Google. At the time of my recording this, the following domain names were available: gardenroses.net, miniatureroses.net, cabbageroses.com, .net, and .org. Well, cabbageroses.net was available, but I picked it up because it was such a good find. The .com was for sale for $1,500 or so, but for my purposes it wasn't worth that much to me. It took me less than 5 minutes to find those using Keyword K9. See why you need to invest in a good SEO tool? It makes your life so much easier. It's undeniable. Your choice of domain names can play a key role in your ranking in Google and the building of your brand, so be sure and choose wisely. Avoid long, difficult domain names. If you're not worried about branding, going after an exact match domain, EMD, can help your ranking, especially because linking to it with your domain name or URL in the anchor text can be a big ranking booster, and you won't get penalized for it. Throughout this course, I highlight the use of Keyword K9 as the perfect tool to help you achieve your Google ranking success. Keyword K9 does it all for you: site health monitoring, keyword analysis, backlink analysis, rank tracking, long tail mining, keyword optimization, and more. You'll save hours out of your day every time you use it. This tool is seriously worth its weight in gold. There's nothing else like it on the market, especially for the price. So start your SEO efforts off on the right foot and get access to Keyword K9 at keywordk9.com.